What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my weekly training video, talking through all the training that I'm doing week by week, getting ready for Ironman Texas coming up in April. There are 12 more weeks of training to go, and we are 8 weeks down, 12 to go. It is week 9's training up ahead this week, and so far things are still going well. I'm really proud to be almost 10 weeks into this training and really have only missed a handful of things. So far I've been able to pull through all of the training, and last week went pretty well, as all the weeks have gone so far. So let's dive in, talk about how last week looked. I'll talk about how the next week looks, and that'll be it. Keeping these updates going every Monday. So taking a look at last week's training, started off with a swim on Monday. The previous weekend's training was easily some of the longest and toughest training I've done yet. Right before this week began, I did a 5-hour bike ride with a 45-minute run afterwards. So it was a very long training day in the previous Saturday. Moving into Monday, I was really fatigued and I felt pretty slow in the pool. The set was 125s, and there was some speed changing in those 125s. Really, I wasn't able to speed up anywhere near like my usual fresh, type of faster paces, but got the swim done, almost 3,000 yards, and then it was like 28 degrees on Monday. We had this freezing weather come through Houston, and that 15-minute run, I didn't get it done. By the time I basically was like all the clothes that I would need to get ready to go and all the stuff I need to put on to go, and then as soon as I start getting warmed up, it's just a 15-minute run. So I just did that swim on Monday. Tuesday, we were snowed in, couldn't leave the house. 45-minute trainer ride, easy peasy, felt pretty good. Wednesday was the second day of being sort of snowed in. School was closed. I had the opportunity to go to strength class. However, my son was home from school and there was some snow on the little hill right across the street, and there was no debate about what I was going to be doing. So I didn't go to strength class. I went and did some sledding, had a blast with my son. We were out there for hours, and sometimes you just, that training session wasn't a priority for me on Wednesday. But I definitely got a good workout rolling some giant snowballs, like trying to make snowmen, and these things were like hundreds of pounds. So I did get a little bit of strength work done, building some snowmen on Wednesday. Thursday was back to the grind. There was a 90-minute trainer ride. The main set was 5 by 8 minutes at this like zone 4 effort, low cadence, and I was excited to try and average a little bit higher than usual. I had recently done an FTP test and raised my zone 4 power numbers a little bit. So all 5 of the intervals that I did on this ride, I averaged over 300 watts for 8 minutes on each of them. So I started at like 302, 308, 305. I'm definitely happy with these numbers. 313 and 321 on the last one. So starting to get more comfortable riding above 300 watts, and that feels good. That just is a sign that I'm getting stronger on the bike and I'm adapting to my new power zones. After that ride, had a 3-mile or 30-minute run, just about 3.5 miles. Heart rate was nice and low on that run, felt pretty under control. Friday, back in the pool. I was hopeful going into this swim that I was like, all right, Monday's swim was so tough, I was so tired. Let me get in the water, let me do these 500s and I'll feel better. And it was another really tough swim. Just fatigued, like just kind of feeling like molasses in the water. Another reason I felt like molasses was because the day before, I forgot to mention, I did a strength session with my personal strength coach, and it was like 80% upper body. It really, nothing too crazy, but all of the things that we did for about 50 minutes, most of it was upper body work. That had me feeling especially just kind of sore and tired in the water on Friday. However, still swam almost 4,000 yards, 2 swims last week got done. On to Saturday's run. It was an hour 45 was the sort of, that was like the total duration that I was supposed to run. I typically will include my walk breaks when I'm doing a long run like this, and kind of have that combined run and walk time in mind. And this run, actually, I've done a couple of these sort of more than 10-mile runs in the last few weeks. And this one, I gotta say, sort of, I was more comfortable at the end of the run hitting the paces and keeping my heart rate under control than I have on any of the previous runs over 10 miles. So the last three or so runs that I've done over 10 miles, the sort of last 30 or 40 minutes, I've been battling my heart rate, trying to keep my heart rate down, and also that perceived exertion is just really going up quite a bit, where I'm not really able to maintain that sort of steady pace all the way through. That last 20, 30 minutes or so has been really tough. However, that wasn't the case on Saturday's run. Feeling nice and even. Really, my splits were mile by mile, right around 740, and I think my average for that was 743, and felt good for the last mile and a half or so. So I'd like to think I could have kept going if I had to. On to Sunday. Coming off of last weekend's big ride, that was a 5-hour training ride. This week's was 2 hours and 15 minutes and a 45-minute transition run. The ride went well. That first set was really tough, that 45 minutes at zone 3. I averaged about 255 watts for 45 minutes, took my little break, and then did the second set. These 8-minute intervals on the second part of the ride were very similar to what I had done on Thursday, but the workout called for low zone 4, so I really wasn't trying to push over a certain number or anything like that. I was just trying to sneak in right at the bottom of my zone 4 power, and that ride overall went pretty well. I'm going to be doing that same ride again twice this week, so we'll see how the other two go. After the bike, I had a 45-minute run, and it was like pouring rain outside, thunder, a little bit of lightning going on. Not too crazy, but definitely not ideal weather. And my son actually decided to ride his bike with me for that whole run. So that was really awesome. Had some company out there running in the rain, and had him along for the ride. And that really helped. Snuck those 5 miles in just at 7:59, right under 8-minute pace. And my heart rate was even more under control than it had been on the previous brick run. So nice low 147 for me heart rate on that run. So last week's training, started out really tired, felt fatigued through most of it, but able to get just about everything done. Looking at next week coming up, I already got today's training done. Let's see if I refresh this, if it'll pop up. Ta-da! Went and swam 4,000 yards this morning, and this was probably one of the better swims I've had in weeks. The set was like really simple, 4x100, 4x50 times 4, so a total of 1600s. And it just said swim fast today. So I went out and tried to swim, that threshold effort for all the 100s, and ended up with an average pace of about 136 per 100 for 4,000 yards with everything all said and done. And that's probably one of the best average paces I've done in weeks. Also, I didn't realize how long the swim was. I was shocked when I got done and it said 4,000 yards. I was like, that was 4,000 yards? So that's a good sign that I'm building up that endurance in the pool, where I'm not, starting to feel tired or bored. I'm going to have to swim just over 4,000 yards on race day, and the more I can just do that during the weeks getting ready, I think the better. So great swim today. Hopped back on the bike for a 1-hour easy ride, and I took it pretty easy. My average heart rate was 134 on the ride, compared to like yesterday's ride. The average heart rate on that was probably 150. So taking it nice and easy on the bike today for that hour. And hopefully I'll make it to yoga tonight as well. Moving on to tomorrow, I have the exact same workout from Sunday. So it's the same 45-minute zone 3 and then 4 by 8 minute zone 4. I'm not that opposed to repetition. It's a opportunity to compare your ability, on a little bit more like scientific way, where you're like, okay, this is what I did when I did this exact same workout previously. Let's see if I can maybe do a little bit better. So hopefully on tomorrow's ride, I will look to maybe improve those average numbers a little bit. And then I have the same ride again on Thursday, but no run. So interesting how that works out. Tomorrow I've got, Wednesday rather, I've got strength class again. Thursday is going to be my other strength session. Personal strength coach with that capital E. 1 hour duration. Get that in there on Thursday. Friday, I have a swim and a run. This swim is technically supposed to be open water, but I doubt I'm going to go out in the lake. Swim the distance, so I'm going to go ahead and swim more than 4,000 yards again on Friday without stopping. So try to swim complete distance. That should be fun. 45-minute run, I will do that after the swim. So that'll be like a 2-hour swim run session on Friday. That'll be kind of a little bit different. Haven't done anything like that in quite some time. Saturday's run, easy pace run, 1 hour 15 this week. A little bit of a break. I think the last few weeks have been at least 1 hour 45, if not more, 2 hours 15 previous week. So easy run Saturday, and then Sunday's workout, also not like a monster. I had that 5-hour training ride previously, and fortunately it's not like that every weekend, not quite yet. It looks like a 2-hour ride on Sunday with 2 by 40 minutes at zone 3. I should be ready for that. I'm doing these 40-minute zone 3 sets like every time I ride. Do it twice, no big deal. And then off of that, it's an easy transition run. So that is the week of training coming up. And I am thrilled to, again, to be this far into the training, to be feeling on track. I think overall, training is still going well. I'm excited to be working with the strength coach. I'm feeling, confident that the weaknesses that she's sort of identified are things that we can work on together for the next 10, 12 weeks or so, and have me feeling stronger and, just a stronger overall athlete heading into the race compared to last time. And also I will say that I am starting to feel I'm sort of carrying a higher level of fitness around. I think that's just sort of a direct correlation to just the volume of training that I've been doing. So I'm starting to kind of feel a little bit fitter, feeling like, I'm like endurance wise, I'm feeling a little bit stronger. And that's a really nice feeling to have. Looking to keep it going for another 12 weeks. So thank you so much for checking this out. If you have any comment, question, feedback, if you're worried about my mental or physical well-being, anything you might want to throw in the comments, I'd love to read it. And I'll be back next week with another update. Thanks for checking this out. See you next time.